All right, welcome back to D&D. It's been a while. Hopefully the streaming PC actually survives this time. I don't remember if last time it survived or not, but we're really, Jack. Really? Anyways, thank you for the subs, everybody. Appreciate it. Can't believe I've been affiliate for 36 months. I mean, we've been streaming for, I guess this will be year number 4 once we hit May, June time frame.
I've given up. I mean, I haven't given up on Twitch, but it's just TikTok has far more, interest. I've got less followers, but people are far more interactive.
Yeah, but you're streaming a lot more frequently than I am. Anyways,
but I stream that level on Twitch and nothing.
Session-wise, since we're live,
right, and recording, and I haven't had a drop frame yet, which is a good sign, hopefully. So we are going to be retconning a little bit from our previous session, and just to give a recap of where we were. The party went to Elk's Point to get some supplies while we were waiting on some messages from Elfrost. Those hadn't arrived yet. The party found a necromancy lair beneath the blacksmith's house in Elk's Point, and there was some investigation that went on in Elk's Point. The party came back, had a discussion of kind of what was going on, next steps. There was some other things that happened, some screaming, some one player may have gone a little batshit crazy.
You know what? I'm not okay with your language right now. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I'm gonna leave right now. This feels unfair.
But the party's now trying to decide between taking the weapons that were found in the Stonebreaker Ironworks that Nymphis has been holding on to back to Elfrost, or to head over to Keg Boulder after kind of discovering that this was a dwarven mine that these were pulled from, and maybe head there to get a little more information about what the forge was, why was it shut down, what might be lurking there that the party might need to be aware of. So when we were planning our next couple of sessions, we thought Nymphis was going to be not available, so we had planned to do some sessions with the rest of the party. That didn't happen because of
shit happens.
Became unavailable.
Life things happening. So
shit happens.
We're taking a step back. We're going to retcon that piece a little bit and see what the party wants to do. Do you all want to head straight to Keg Boulder, or do you want to drop by Elfrost to kind of drop the weapons off on the way to Keg Boulder? Do you all want to do something else? So that's where we find ourselves at the beginning of the session. So quick 5-minute discussion what you all want to do. And just a note too, I don't know if you remember this, Nymphis, but you sent Nyx out to deliver a note that Zaliath had written back to Hisrin based off one of the dreams that she had.
Yep, and I'm waiting for Nyx to get back.
Yep.
As it's not out of the way, I'm happy to literally do a drive-by and just go like, weapons, fuck off, so we don't need to worry about them in Keg Boulder. Just go, weapons, gone, so they don't haunt over us, so Julien doesn't go crazy.
We also don't need them possibly getting stolen during appraisals.
They're in my ring. No one's gonna know.
During appraisals.
But you might
How
want
would they
to
know?
use your ring for other things.
Exactly. How
They're
would they
gonna
know?
They're gonna know. They're gonna know.
And I'll say, just from kind of topography and the maps that you have, Nymphis, you're able to kind of tell them that if you were to take a direct route to Keg Boulder, it would probably be anywhere from 6 to 8, maybe 9 days travel. If you were to go by Elfrost, maybe add 3 or 4 days to the trip.
I mean, like I said, it is, instead of going directly northeast, it's just you go a little bit east first, and then there's a clear pathway. Like I said, there's a pathway from Elfrost to Keg Boulder that is completely drawn on the map. Yeah, there's a clear pathway from Elfrost to Keg Boulder. So heading to Elfrost and then taking the actual pathway. I don't know if it's safe, like that dotted line. I don't know if that's like a safe travel pathway, but the less we have to go via. I mean, if we were to go through Sleepy Coves, it's like we're gonna have to go over mountains. And if Lord of the Rings has taught me anything, going over a mountain is never a good thing.
So the dotted paths, you can basically assume that they're well-known pathways that have been...
So it's probably a little bit more protected, more like less bad things are supposed to happen.
Some bad things still happen.
Like I said, I don't mind. My vote is to do a drive-by in Elfrost and then go to Cake Boulder straight away. Not stay in Elfrost for any length of time. Just be like, this is just a drive-by. Take it.
We're being responsible, like in the note.
Right.
Yeah, we did say
Panda?
we. Yeah, we did also say we were going to.
Ghoster Panda?
I agree.
Huh?
Yeah,
You concur with the suggestion of going to Elfrost before going to Cake Boulder.
Yeah. Sorry. Drive by.
Okay.
This is not a
The
drive-by.
Very well.
Decisions has been
The
made.
decision has been made.
Like I said, well, that was two people making a decision. I mean, like I said, there's.
That was the fastest choice.
Well,
Well,
Xylith
No, no.
concurred. I think Wilrick concurred.
Oh.
Belto.
Oh, well, yeah, Ozylith concurred as well. Okay, well, in which case that is 3-2. But
Belto, what you guys? I would
But
like to hear
I-
what Belto has to say.
I would still love to hear a different opinion. Yeah, I would like to hear like a separate opinion.
Group is trying to gain good favor with the council by turning in these weapons. That's either A, going to make us look bad by being like, oh, something bad happens because we turned them in, meta-wise, and something happens because of it, or B, we get good reputation because it's like, oh, these are now secure and these aren't just out in the land somewhere dangerous for someone outside of our control to take over them. These guys are actually doing pretty well.
So you would say not to drop them off?
No, I'm saying to drop them off. I'm saying this just is going to go one or two ways.
Okay, so everyone's agreement other than Nymphus. Nymphus, what would you do?
I would say, since everyone agrees, I just want to be different and say no. I guess I don't know.
I want
I'm
to go
a
to
rebel.
Sixth Greater.
I wanna be a rebel.
I want to let the corruption take hold.
I want to go
Yeah,
to Six Flags.
Yeah, I want to go to Six Flags right now. Yeah.
But I have a reason. It could be because what Belto said. It would be that we put the weapons there to them, but we didn't stop the person creating them.
Yeah, but potentially we could be. I mean, like I said, we don't necessarily trust everyone in Elfrost. We could be delivering them to baddies in Elfrost. I agree on that one, but we don't know. We've got no evidence on that. So at this
It's
point,
safe to assume that the weapons were
Life is unknowing.
probably there for a while, and that the forge has been dark for a while, but you don't know if like the forge could.
yeah, we could be delivering these weapons to a
The only
bad
reason why I came to that thought is because we still have the forge guy that got attacked with the necromancy thing underneath there, so we don't know.
And the fact that
and that was
attacked
recent.
by a Duragar.
Yeah,
that
which
we
was
have
recent.
Discovered.
True,
So-
but look, I think our
You
part.
two are on slightly different points.
I do think our party owes, like, whilst we might not like it, is still effectively under mission from Elfrost. We're still under the guise of doing what they said. That's why they released us. So I think not doing this would be a bad
We
thing.
don't have any broader context.
Yes.
We don't have any further guidance.
Yeah.
We have no ideas otherwise.
We've come.
Beyond just exploring the land to fight orc incursions.
We're-
That's
Alright.
the only other thing that we are aware of
We're-
that we could do.
We've come across weapons.
I'm excited to continue now because we already got our votes, so we're going to continue towards Elfrost, and we'll pop this stream on without continuously going around in circles again.
Yeah.
We're taking Beatrice with us.
Yes.
Beatrice is
of
going
course.
to take you.
She's the one that's
Okay.
going to take it actually into the city.
She's
All right.
so she's not going to come with us to Keg Boulder. Or is she?
Not to Cave Boulder. She would be stopping at Elfrost.
She's not coming.
her suggestion.
It depends.
Unless Dust changes.
Okay.
That's up to
Going
Dust.
to Elfrost
Okay.
to drop off weapons.
Got to do some rolls to see
Cool.
if that happens or not.
She's like,
Because she advised the Ked Boulder stuff, so hey, if she becomes a bit of a guide, if she has the contact in Ked Boulder, cool.
Boulder.
Otherwise,
I like Beatrice.
we're gonna be shotting in the
I'm
dark
in-
on these
I
crazy,
am
powerful,
indifferent.
mysterious things that the raw ears are gonna hear.
Yeah, I'm still indifferent to Beatrice. I don't hate her, but I don't necessarily trust her yet.
Nymphus is all like, "Yeah, Beatrice," but lightly he's just like, "I don't trust you, bitch."
Well, there's a lot of like weird shit going on with Beatrice. Like there's the constant leaving us in the cave, leaving us at night. Just like either you trust us and you stay with us, or you're going to do your own fucking thing. Just like every single time we go to sleep, she's not there. Like why? Why didn't you want to stay with us?
She has her own spot.
Well, yeah, well, fucking sleep with us.
Plus, what Nimbus found out on his own that he has not shared with the party
I have
yet.
great arms. I have big arms.
Have we ever invited her?
Yes. But we were inside the cave, and she went off without us in the middle of the night. We were inside the cave, and she literally went exploring.
I don't think we ever told her to
No, but
stay
she
with
went
us, though.
exploring of her own volition. It was quite clear that she could stay with us. So she literally went.
When it was her watch, she disappeared during it. Back when we were first exploring the under caves.
So there's an element of, and there were noises during the night as well. Like when that was happening, was it her? Was it something else? We don't know.
She's a werewolf.
Be Dusty rolling in the background.
Like
She's a werewolf.
I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, but then I think that would be something that I would hope that Julien would have picked up on perception if that was the case. But
She's been asked a few times.
Yeah, we've already passed the asking portion, and she's already disverted it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I would hope if she was a werewolf, Julien would have at least had some perception on that.
Anyways, now we
Not a werewolf.
Didn't think so.
Not a werewolf.
Okay.
She's a were-elf. She's only half-elf.
Wait.
Half.
Well.
Well,
Well,
Right, let's go.
Achoo! Oh no, my ears are pointing.
So the red marker, that's where we are.
Just get
I'm
back on
guessing
topic.
you're just gonna move us to somewhere at this point, or are we just gonna skip straight to
yeah.
Elfrost?
So what's the plan for when you all get to Elfrost? Are you all planning on leaving the weapons there,
I'm more
or
concerned
Staying
about.
outside,
I'm cons-
letting either Nazare or Beatrice's contact be able to come out to collect the weapons if Beatrice doesn't bring them in herself.
I'm more concerned about Wilrick because the last time we went close,
They gave him immunity to it.
is actually immune now.
Specifically, Wilrick, they
So
gave
Wilrick
him immunity. That's
won't
how
have
he
a
was
same.
able to stop screaming.
Okay, he won't have a screaming fit again. Okay.
as far as you all are made aware, he should be
Okay.
okay.
I think on that point, I would honestly defer to Wilrick about how close he wants to get to Elfrost, and if he doesn't want to get close, I would stay as far away as Wilrick wants. Because Wilrick has a reason not to go back. So does Julien, and so does Xylith, because we're the ones who also heard things in our minds. Julien doesn't really want to go back to Elfrost either. But, Xylith, would you want to go back into Elfrost?
I mean, I did try to jump over the
Yeah,
balcony, so maybe not.
Like I said, I would to go into Elfrost, to be perfect.
I'll
I think
stay
someone
outside
should go
if
with
people.
Beatrice in there if she decides to go in and they don't come out to get the stuff. But
I don't think I would. I think I'd stay outside with Wilrick if Wilrick stayed outside. I wouldn't go in Elfrost.
Yeah.
Nymphus volunteers.
Yeah, you go, but I don't think I'd go inside.
Okay.
I'll go inside.
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'd stay outside with respect. I wouldn't be like, fuck you. I'd just be like, no, I just prefer to stay outside.
I trust.
Especially
that.
considering how we barely got it. The group barely got in last time.
Yeah.
I was expecting, because of what happened and we have to earn favor, we're not going inside no matter what. We're not going to be invited in.
The only thing I would say is, because whilst we have kind of left them behind, is I would say what happened to our friends as we're back. Because technically we did leave our friends and we never saw them again. I would say, do we have any closure on what happened to our friends who
They gave
They went their own
Belto
way.
information, and Belto shared that with the rest of you.
Oh fuck.
It's just a matter of whether or not that information was truthful,
Okay.
which is
If I
the
see
reason
them again.
why we as a whole doubt
That
Nazarite.
was clearly before I was writing down shit.
If I
I think it was Rad
Guys again.
escaped and
Rad
Parthenax.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
Red Escape and Parthenas just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
And there was one other, wasn't there? One
No,
other?
those are the only two.
It was the only two.
Those are the only two.
Because
But Helen Estra was,
went.
But that was
Left
before.
after the purple
That was
Yeah,
before.
Helen Estra
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
before, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then I wouldn't be interested because they already know.
Yeah.
Cool. Fine with
Okay. So you all pack up. Beatrice comes down and welcomes you to travel. She's going to be guiding you back to Elfrost. Who's going to be? I'm assuming Xylith, you're going to be probably up at the front. All right.
Yeah.
Give me just a survival check, just to see how things go for the duration of the trip. Nine. I'll say with Beatrice helping, I'll take the advantage for you on that one.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so a couple of days goes by. Some of the weather has been a little bit cold and dreary. You get a couple of hours of reprieve throughout some of the days and nights. Go ahead and take 2 worth of days rations from your old stockpile. That's
how's everyone doing on that front, by the way?
Last I knew, most of us had just run out or were about to run out.
So,
I know I ran out at 48.
So I've got. So if I take 2, I have 6. I've now got 2 left. If I take away my 2, I've got 2 left. So does anyone need anything?
I'm currently at 0.
So you
I take 2. I'm at 0.
Okay, so I will. You said you have 6. I'll give 1 to Belto. For certain, so I'm down to 1. Zareth, you give 1 to Belto, I'm assuming, for the other day?
Yeah.
I was just say, didn't you buy like 30?
I mean, I only have 1 in my inventory.
I think it was 30 gold worth. I don't think it was 30 ration.
Oh, okay. But even then, that'd be even more.
And Nymphus?
I forget what it was.
What are you doing for rations?
Nymphus will tell you that he's good on rations and everything, but you probably won't see him eating anything.
Can I find out if Nymphus is actually okay and whether I force Nymphus? Can I find out whether Nymphus needs to eat, please? Because if I don't see Nymphus eating, I'll probably want to have a look and potentially force you to eat.
Good. I don't need it.
DM me, Nymphus, if you're...
yeah, unless there's like a definitive reason that you'd hide it from me, I'd want to know why you're not eating all of a sudden, because you were eating.
Good, guys, I'm good. Hold on. This.
And does Beatrice have her own food?
Yes, Beatrice has.
Okay, so we don't need to worry about Beatrice. Okay.
Yes.
So at the moment, I'm just putting down -3 rations. But what the fuck is going on with Nymphus over here? For 2 days travel. 1 to build. Cool. We might need to pick up some rations then. Whilst you guys are in Elfrost, we probably are going to need to pick up some rations.
You got 30 golds worth. That should have been a decent amount.
All I can see in my inventory is...
Because you had the stockpile.
I definitely had a lot, but I know I divvied a lot out.
You said DM you!
Well, I meant in the Discord, but no, this works.
Because I don't have anything added to my inventory. Zareth has sits, so I'm wondering if we were supposed to all add sits?
Yeah, I mean, I only started today with 4. I've now obviously got 1. Zareth has 6, now Zareth has 3, because gave 1 to you. Wilrick has 0. You have 0.
We went to Sleepy Cup to restock so we wouldn't have this issue.
I thought we did as well.
And it's only been like 2 days since then.
Oh. Okay.
You see it?
Yeah, I see it now.
Hang on. Let me find what happened here. Inspiration Panda.
Roll investigation.
Man, if only I had
Julien.
2 or 3 spells
Me?
left, then we won't have to deal with rations at all.
That's a 10.
10.
It's an 8 plus 2.
He seems
Wait,
fine.
I don't get to roll a deception?
If he generally seems fine, sure. I'm not gonna worry about it.
He seems fine.
Okay, if he's not, okay,
doesn't seem ill. Doesn't seem any.
If there's no
seem like
obvious
skinny.
okay, if he seems fine, yeah, okay, we'll move
You
on.
sniff for the obvious signs of starvation, and you don't get any sense of it.
Best, yeah, sure. No, I'll happily leave it
Why
then.
making a big deal out of something really small?
Look, people need to eat, okay? And I'm well aware that people aren't liking me at the moment for reasons. So I'm trying to do my best.
Julien, I like you. You're good. You're great. You gave me a hug for the first time ever.
Julien gives Nymphis another hug.
Oh. So, yeah, about heading towards this castle. Are we going to have to deal with things in our heads again, like those voices and stuff? Speaking of which, have you guys heard voices in your head recently? Because I have.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Last I heard was the night of all the dreams when Torm visited.
Oh, this happened
For me.
recently, actually, like a day ago or something.
Thank you for bringing this up.
Beatrice just kind of gives a weird look. Is like, what voices are you talking about?
He seemed like a gentleman, but I feel like he was up to something, like he wanted something from me. I don't know. It was weird.
Julian's fur is going to stand on end, but he's not going to say anything.
Can I hear this from the top of the cart?
Yeah.
I'm saying it loud enough
Okay.
so all of us hear. I'm not going to hide anything.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you mean by hearing voices at Elfrost.
Well, Xylith, remember when we heard the voices that one night in the castle, and we were just going ooh, crazy? We had a moment, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. From the weird dream thingy, and they were I don't know.
It's a
It was
city,
really
not
weird.
a castle.
City.
Yeah.
This is Memphis talking. It's a cat. It's a castle. Yeah. And then all of that, and then recently, when they questioned us, and it was just a lot of weird stuff happening, and it's all revolving to voices in our heads. And then it's like that one time when we went to the elemental plane thingy, and I heard another voice in my head. I'm trying to see if all of this is connected. I've been keeping notes, but I don't know some of the voices are kind of different, so maybe it's multiple different people are trying to contact me in my head or something.
So,
What?
Julien is literally going to look at everyone and go,
So, you're hearing voices.
point to Wilrick,
You heard voices.
point to Zyeth,
You heard voices.
and point to Belter and go,
And you heard voices.
I was visited by Torm in my dream as a vision.
Oh, so that's what we're calling visions now? Yeah.
Mine wasn't just
I
the
think-
voices. He showed me the few scenes, and like I said to you, Julien, he's got his eye on you as well.
There are several folk that have visited Elfrost that follow certain deities, like Belto has here. It's not uncommon for their deities to speak to them in such a way, so depends on how you would have received this voice, I suppose.
Oh, so you're saying it's a sign of a deity trying to contact me. Interesting.
It's an option. We don't.
I am not the.
Well, that's the safe route. There could be other, maybe nefarious means by which someone is trying to communicate, or someone could be casting a spell that could cause someone to hear voices. I'm not nearly as
Have
powerful.
you ever heard anything, Beatrice?
I personally have not. I'm still just kind of getting my feet under me. This has been my first big assignment since kind of working for the council. I'm not that well magically adept at this stage in my profession, but I imagine at some point there might be something I get into where I might be hearing voices for some reason or another. But I guess the closest encounter I've had is when I picked up the weapons in the forge and heard the screeching in my head.
It could be also something like, because I know I draw my powers from someone, right? And maybe that's the person that's contacting me. Because for being a type of warlock / whatever I am, I have to draw my powers from someone but I never really. Okay, for every warlock, you have to actually have a patron, right? You have to pray to somebody or for the deal to happen. For me, that never really happened. It just happened, I never made the deal. I just had this, and that's why I found it was a little weird for me that. And I questioned it with my mom before, and she has no idea either. So that's one of the many questions I would have if I could ever find my late father. Maybe he would know or something. But that's a little side bit. I'm just sharing along our trip here, you know. Look out for the rocks, Alan.
Thanks.
I think he might have schizophrenia. Huh.
What's a schizophrenia?
Hang on.
Everyone's
Hang on. I gotta get in the mod view.
I'm working on it.
Thank you.
Ooh, Shubu.
Where's freaking mod tools? Where is it?
Get out of here.
I broke it. I broke everybody.
Wait, Nymphis, what did this most recent voice say to you?
There we go. I got it. Sorry.
Something about making a deal or something weird.
A deal?
Mm-hmm. Call upon their power or whatnot like that. I don't know. It was brief, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." Not it. He's like, you know how you can like hear that person's someone's voice and be like, they grew up in a very prestiged home or something like that. It was like that. Very like high class noble type. And like super powerful, but half of me was like, I'm good, you know, because something was like repelling me not to take that offer for good reasons. But warning in my head, but like it wasn't like scary warning. It was just like, don't do it. But I was curious enough. I almost said yes because that's just my power of my personality as is always the curious type. But I don't know. Julien didn't go yelling at me saying there's a devil or something or evil so I didn't think anything of it either.
At him saying the word devil, could I have Beltel roll a religion check to see if like he would know about that stereotype of devils and such?
Yes, you may at disadvantage though.
More than fair enough.
They make a deal
That's
with
why I
the
was
devil.
asking and not just, I want him to.
And that's just Nymphis putting two and two together with the maybe it was something Panda was doing.
Disadvantage, give me 1 second to roll
Wilrick was
again.
doing.
I've seen worse
14.
rolls.
Was it
14.
14? You're familiar with different pantheons of different deities, and while you haven't experienced something specifically as far as like demons and devils, you assume that there is some kind of antithetical power to beings that you worship or are familiar with.
Yep.
So while you don't know specifically, you know that they do exist.
That sounds vaguely familiar to something I read in a book during my studies once, I think, but I do not know much beyond that. So, I mean, if your gut was telling you not to, sometimes that is a force of good trying to make sure you're staying on a good path. So
You're right. It sounded like he might be like a lich or something like that. Like not like a lich because
What's a lich?
those are cool. Like what I mean, like a lich, I mean like someone leeching off of somebody.
a leech. You just misspoke?
Yes, a leech.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant. A leech, not a lich.
I've never heard of that other thing.
Julien, whilst all this talk's going on, is going to catch eyes with Wilrick. Just very quickly.
Like he wanted something for quid pro quo type scenario, like an eye for an eye and a deal for a deal.
Yeah, that
You could
sounds
ask
fishy as
her.
fuck.
That doesn't sound good. Not gonna lie.
And you're sure this wasn't just a dream of your own creation? This was...
We were literally standing near each other when that happened. I was not. Did I pass out? Did you guys see me on the ground or something?
No?
Could have been. No, I think I was standing right there. Yeah. It's full awake.
Well, thank you for alerting us to this.
You all are an interesting bunch.
It could be the weapons too. That's another thing. That was just a consideration.
Yeah. Considering the streaming and what little we have been able to figure out about that could make...
I'm just trying to connect the dots with all the things that are happening right now, and maybe. But it all started in Elfrost.
What? Beatrice is going to inquire of what kind of screaming did you... Was it this inside of Elfrost, or was this as you were approaching? Because I know there's some things outside the city that we've been trying to thwart off, and that's one of the reasons why I was out in the forest, is trying to look into why some of these things are happening. But inside the Elfrost would be very, very strange and unusual.
It was as we were approaching. They said it was against all tieflings, this scream.
But that would just impact him, pointing to Wilrick. Like, that wouldn't affect the rest of you all. Or did it?
No, it was only me that was screaming.
There was a series of events. That's all. Wilrick was screaming along the way there, and then we spent the night and had weird dreams, and people were poking in our heads, and then that stuff.
But then the council did say that they didn't do it during the meeting.
They lied so bad.
I mean,
she just kind of just sits there and goes back to contemplating. Onward. Okay. You all start to approach the city on the third day. There is a dense fog that's covered kind of the terrain around you, some of the swamp. You probably assume it's part of that. Some sun's trying to come through the tree line as it starts to thin out as you approach Elfrost a little bit closer. Wilrick, I need you to roll a wisdom check, please.
Uh-oh.
You said wisdom check, no wisdom save, so...
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it's it.
Sorry, I was trying to click this and I pressed the wrong thing.
You're fine.
I want to delete.
You're fine.
I was trying to do that.
We're in trouble.
And
I was trying to do this.
Actually, did something too.
I was trying to do that.
In any case.
Anywho. So as you start to approach Elfrost, Panda, you start to get the sensation that you had similar before, but the lasting effects, like the thing that debilitated you, is not taking effect. It's almost like whatever magic they have that detects the tiefling is still there, and it's still like you can feel a certain mark almost of some magical effect, but the actual debilitating effects on you are not there. But you are aware that okay, it's like that initial feeling of this is what happened before, but it's not onsetting any more than just that.
I'm just shaking up, like just darting my eyes around, like when am I going to scream?
Okay, how close are we? Can we see Elfrost at this point?
Yeah, you can see parts of it through the tree line. You're probably still another maybe 30 minutes or so of travel to get to.
Will Julien notice the shaking, the difference of Wilrick at this point?
It seemed like he was making it not inconspicuous. So yes, you
Yes,
you'll
okay.
see him
So-
start to.
So at that point, Julien will basically say,
Guys, I'm gonna stay here with Wilrick. We're not gonna go any further. We'll set up camp right here. So I guess it's okay if you want to leave Gerald with us, and you guys can head into the city if you want.
I don't intend to head in. After all, we were trying to build positive favor. We're just trying to drop this off so these can be secured.
Well, from the looks of things, we might need to get some rations. But I think it's best if myself and Wilrick stay here for now.
Are you sure? Wilrick, are you okay?
I'm so sorry, but my audio cable got stuck underneath my wheel. And I was really cold, so I put a
No worries.
hoodie on.
No problem.
What was said? Sorry.
basically that we should stay where we are. As soon as he starts noticing that you're quite clearly shaking, to stay here.
Yes,
and that they can all head in, but we keep Gerald. But we probably need to pick up rations, so it wouldn't just be a drive-by. They need to probably head in to get rations.
Yes, let's stay here. Let's stay here.
Yeah.
All right, so Julien and Wilrick are going to stay. Anyone else going to stay with them? And is Gerald in the cart staying, or are you all taking the cart the rest of the way?
I think
we could leave Gerald with them.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to go in either. I'm just going to go right up to the
Out
gate.
again, guys. I
Okay.
promise Gerald is probably going to be the final boss. He's going to be surviving so long with us. He's been leveling up with us. He's actually a druid.
at this point, Gerald says no.
He just gives up.
I know too much. He's going to get rid of me.
All right, everyone else is good to move along.
If out of everyone, I might be the only one of us that could get into the city to possibly make a purchase. However, I don't have any money still.
Okay, at this point,
I still
how much
owe
money
you
do
10
have?
already, Julien.
I got it.
That's
I have
fine.
money. And I'm going with.
How much money?
I hold my chest and prayer for money.
How much money do you guys have?
And how much are we hoping to buy in rations?
111 gold.
Okay, well, it's quite a long journey to Keg Boulder. You said it's about 6-7 days from here, so we're going to need at least, that times 5 minimum just for us to get there. So we need at least 30 rations. So I would say probably more than that. I would say at least 50 rations. I don't know how much that costs, so.
We could probably just trade that up with these guys and the not having to pay.
Would you have to trade?
No, like
Given it's an elven city, things are probably going to be a little more pricey for non-elf, maybe common folk.
why can't we just
Turns out
ask the
buying a
castle
train.
to supply us?
One ration on average is supposed to be a half gold, based off of my travels.
So
So 5 silver.
I stupidly closed my thing, so I'm going to try and open it back up again because I pressed the wrong thing. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm just going to look at what it actually costs inside, D&D Beyond, and then, it says it costs. It says it costs half.
Your
a gold
demon
piece.
daddy
It
gave
says it
you
costs-
money.
Right?
He wants more.
Panda. He
Yeah,
gave you money.
Yeah. It says.
Remember
that
when
it
you
costs
first
half a
used
gold
the amulet?
piece.
He gave you money.
Which is why I was like, there
Yeah,
was 30 or something. You either got 30 rations or
I
spent
know.
30 gold on rations.
Okay, so
Maybe
Wilrick, so Julien will give Belto 30 gold pieces. Whether you spend them all or not, that is irrespective.
These
Julien will
these
give
will
you.
only be spent on rations for the group.
That's fine.
I have
So
money,
I will give you 30 gold pieces. Whether or not you spend them or not is up to you. But
Yep.
30 gold pieces have been transferred.
All right. So, If I'm allowed in to make the purchase, I shall do so.
Sounds good.
Okay. Everyone else is going, right? And
Yeah.
Gerald and the cart staying?
Yeah, we're gonna leave Gerald
Okay.
there.
Ooh, horse meat.
Are
What?
So you all start to approach the gates of Elfrost, and
Get to hell.
I'm assuming your weapons are still in your ring,
Hell
right?
for us.
You get about maybe 100 yards away, and Beatrice says, "Probably best if you wait here, and I can tell the guards what's going on."
Sounds good to me, especially given the notes that was sent ahead.
Yep.
Okay.
And she walks up to the guards. It's maybe about 5 minutes past or so that you see them talking, and you see different kind of hand motions and discussion going on. And it sounds like she's trying to make her case to the guards to do something, to check on something, and they seem a little reluctant. She pulls out several different papers to try to show credentials. Eventually, one of the guards goes inside. She comes back to you and says, "Oh, it's been away so long, they are questioning my credentials, but hopefully they will actually go get the right people that I requested in my note. We'll probably just need to wait here for a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to take."
That's fine with me. They have the security for reasons, after all.
They don't remember us.
Well, if they do, that would be even more reason for us to not be let in, given the limited circumstances we were allowed to leave with.
Well, she said that there was like her credentials that they were questioning because she asked you all to stay behind.
Oh, we weren't within like sight of her?
Well, like 100
Sight, but
yards
not
away. Yeah.
Oh, 100 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed that.
So you wait there for another maybe 20, 30 minutes or so. Time passes, just kind of killing time. And one of the guards walks up to you all and says, "We've validated who you are. Sorry, Beatrice, it's been a while and things have changed over quite a bit. What is it that you are bringing?" And she looks to... have you told her what's going on? I think you've told her that Geo has the weapons, right? Or
Yeah.
it's
That was the
holding
initial plan
in
before the
in
potential wreck.
in the way. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well,
while we were waiting, Nymphis, would you have procured it while we were at a distance?
You're asking if I
Or would you
pull
have left
these
them in the
weapons
ring?
out?
right.
No,
While we were waiting for them to verify Beatrice's credentials, or would you have waited?
I would definitely not pull those weapons out until we have someone that's able to bring them in.
Well, like my colleague here has transported some very dangerous artifacts that we believe are demon possessed, and we thought it best to bring them back to have them either properly analyzed or disposed of. And the guard kind of has a quizzical look of like half doubt, half caution. Of like, well, okay, why are you bringing something so dangerous here? And she picks up on the body gesture and she says, "Well, I sent a note ahead notifying you that we would be coming to bring these here, and I received no response."
Same from me to Nazare directly.
Roll a persuasion.
Okay.
Make sure you roll well.
Can
I mean, I'm at least I at least took proficiency in
can
this.
I can I give assist?
16?
It's not the worst.
I should have given myself guidance first.
Should have done.
16
That'd be
16's good enough.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Means you're out of time.
The guard says, "Okay, one moment, please," and he goes back to the gate.
Did they not get your guys' messages?
That's what I'm concerned about.
The guards
I mean,
may not
they
know
could
what's
have
going
some
on. I mean, if things are not always distributed amongst the guard to be expecting stuff, and if the council has received your message, Belto, and if my message hasn't made its way up the chain from Ilenia, then either they're trying to keep this hush, or it hasn't been properly vetted, or it's been ignored, which would be an even more
concerning.
unsettling circumstance. Yes, a concern.
I mean, Nyx is a high-leveled owl, so he's got like a noble breed to himself, right? So they obviously gotta
Hoot, 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 motherfucker.
So if a little more time passes by, the guard comes back out and says, "It seems like the council is rather busy at the moment. If you say you said these are demon possessed," and Beatrice is like, "Yes, these are very dangerous artifacts that we've been trying to inform Elfrost of, that we were bringing these and that we needed them to be taken care of."
We first tried to get word on what to do with them. When we didn't receive word, that's when we decided we cannot risk them falling into dangerous hands, considering the enemies that we fought near where these things were, Duragar specifically.
And this specifically has implications to the research that I've been tasked with from Ilenia to fight what's been going on our borders. I don't mean any disrespect, but this needs to be raised as very urgent.
I mean, I suspect, but what the fuck?
I apologize that you are having to deal with the weight of this situation upon your door without any prior knowledge. We had hoped that you could have been given some tidbits of information, perhaps, at this point, especially since it's been a few days for us to travel here. But we don't know what else we can do to keep these things safe.
Y'all have these weapons in your possession?
Let's to Nymphis.
Everyone looks at Nymphis.
Yes.
No, I don't.
I don't see these weapons among your person. I don't see you.
Magic is a thing in this world.
Could you please procure them from their secure container?
Surprise, motherfucker!
Yeah.
Some fries, motherfucker. Long size, motherfucker.
Nymphis is literally saying that to Belto. That's not smart. We need someone who's strong enough not to get mind possessed.
Who would that be?
I would suggest someone better than, no offense, these guards.
Offense taken.
Considering Beatrice barely was able to hold it off.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure nobody physically touches the items. It's just like when we trusted you to put them in without touching them.
Yeah. We'll pull them out if we had someone of higher position to come see them. How about that?
Roll persuasion. Yeah, roll persuasion.
Persuasion. Rolling my die. 6 on the thing. Goddamn. +4. That is a 10, 11. Well, yeah, 10. Do I get advantage?
No. Not on this roll. We are well-trained guards of Elfrost. I'm sure we can handle it.
Start procuring them.
Beatrice like,
Nymphis.
I've handled these weapons. These are not things that you all are prepared for. No offense, but these are weapons of great danger, and we need someone to properly handle these. And
Above game. Sorry. Do I still have any damage from what happened when We
Attempted
were
to
doing
identify.
the whole
I'm
thing with
assuming
the
you've taken
weapons.
long rest at this point, surely, on the journey.
Yeah, we had.
Yeah.
There wasn't any.
But
So they would,
when we tried to identify these
because
weapons,
I took like some points of damage. I can't remember what it was, but I guess if it's
That's
been
when I
days,
bit
then
you.
yeah, they. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I wish the session was uploaded so I could have watched
Well,
it to remember this more clearly.
Panda Cast was the one actually handling the weapons to try to cast identify.
Like for what I'm about to say to the guards.
Oh, sorry. I'll work
Um,
on uploading them tomorrow. Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
No worries.
But hopefully I remember this
But if-
moderately correctly. But in terms of what we can say to them, because we hadn't gotten any contact back from Elfrost for multiple days, both from Nazare when I first sent off the missive, and then also Beatrice trying to get information on what Elfrost would advise us to do on these, we attempted to, under as careful circumstances as we could, perform identify on one of the items. When we even attempted that, it became magically adhered to the caster's hand and made him swing at us.
I got bit.
It was instantaneous. It took the rest of us a lot of effort to separate it from him without anybody else becoming affected.
Did I swing?
And as dangerous as that is, you just want me to willy-nilly pull these out again. These are life-threatening tools. We're trying to be as cautious as possible.
And I can understand any skepticism, especially given you don't have any of this information.
And your pride needs to be put away.
Easy, Nymphus.
I'm just
They
saying.
are trying to just do their jobs.
I am also a noble. I can tell when they're belittling.
Swing, 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 when the sword now.
They are trying to be
Bring,
doing their
with
duty to the best of
bells.
their knowledge.
We will report this to the council as soon as possible, but unless we can see the weapons, we will unfortunately have to wait until we have confirmation of what you say is true. Unless you would willingly give over the weapons or the magical container that you have them in, and we can securely transport it.
All right. Can
Yeah.
Nymphus do another?
Insight?
Because
Or
he wants to give a description of what might happen. So let's say we hand over these weapons, and one of you decide, oh, it's not real, and you touch it, and then next thing you're running and rampaging through the city, and slaughtering your fellow man, or maybe your family. How is that going to look because you didn't believe us?
well, it sounds like you all were able to transport them securely or touch them after.
And it
Your-
was a big deal to get this done.
They're wrapped up and secured in a locked container at the moment.
And that container is.
With on me, yes.
You are making
he just
yourself a target.
I'm trying to help you, man.
I
Above game. But like there's only so much I can
know,
say.
right? All right, we'll wait out here until you get some word and everything then.
Oh, this could be a while.
Beatrice
Also
like,
above game.
you need to.
Stupid idea. Hey, let's under this controlled situation, have one guard stand to the side, let the other guard touch one and see what happens.
Mhm.
And then we try to save that guard.
No, we're killing
Again,
the guard.
above game,
We were killing
stupid
the
idea.
guard.
I'm not getting bit again. No thanks.
I'm not there, don't worry.
There's a whisper on the wind.
That would give credibility to the story, but
We could invite our friend who goes crazy whenever the weapons come out, if you like.
Well, if what you say is true, then we will alert you once we hear back from the council. They are in session. I don't know how much longer. Hopefully within the next hour or so, we will be able to hear back. If you do not mind waiting. He seems to be very just...
given the importance of this, I will wait as long as necessary.
He's like almost like reluctantly like trying to not push you all further, kind of taking a little bit of what you're saying as well. If what they're saying is true, then maybe we should take extra caution. But he's similar to you, Nymphis, kind of sensing the like he kind of has the sense of, well, we're guards, we know what we're doing. You all are kind of spitting some nonsense here.
You're spitting fire.
But again, you all know that, well, they haven't come across what you all are carrying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you all have some time. If you want to chat about anything or discuss anything, Beatrice is just kind of fuming, pacing. Seems like she's just really annoyed at the situation that she's tried to alert Elfrost that we're coming with dangerous stuff to be ready for it, and that they're not ready.
Yeah, while we're waiting.
And that it's been, at this point, like a week, if not longer, because of the travel to Sleepy Cub, back to the camp, back to Sleepy Cub, now over to Elfrost. And you said
so it was
from
3
the
days
camp to Elfrost was another 3 days.
It was 3 days, basically, from when you left the camp to get to Sleepy Cub, and everything happened, and you came back. So that was 3 days, and then it's been 3 days to get there. So it's basically, this is the start of the
first missive
day.
that she sent was about a week ago, if not longer at this point.
It'd be like the 5th day that after she would have written, and
when we first came out of the mines.
How did she send her mail?
you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Beatrice that. I'm gonna ask her, like, while she's pacing. I'll say, Beatrice, why do you think they haven't responded to you? How did you contact them? Do you think they haven't received your message yet, and that's why they're not rushing out here to see what's going on?
Before Beatrice responds, oh yeah, she was on top of a tree, and Nipples was saying. She was on top of a tree trying to point some kind of spell out to the top of his boat. It was really weird. I caught her, and this is when I fell out the tree that one time, and Julien almost saw me. That I almost died. It's really crazy.
Yes, someone was disrupting my work. However, at Sleepy Cub, I have a direct line of sight to one of the message towers in Elfrost, so it's a little bit quicker communication as long as someone is watching and able to receive the message. Otherwise, I use nature to get messages across, so tying notes to rodents or small birds to get them to Elfrost, and using nature as similar to how you have Nyx.
Speaking of, how long
Does it take that long?
Yeah, how long has it been since Nyx?
Well, you sent Nyx the night before you all left?
And it's been 3
Before we
days
left,
since?
Yeah, and it would have taken about this long. So you'd probably assume that you should see Nyx within the next day or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, I'm sorry, Zaya, to interrupt again. Along the time of us waiting, I will probably be making slight remarks of how Elfrost is run by elves that are so ancient, and I guess mail comes slowly to them, or news, or they move. I will be making slight remarks as we wait. Continue.
Yeah, that's his case more, why don't you?
Big red target on Nymphis.
Oh, yeah. It's coming.
Yeah.
So I'll ask Beatrice. I'll say, like, did it normally take this long when you contacted them about other issues?
Well, most of my messages has been directly with Alenia, and she would courier them up to whoever my intended recipient was, or let Alenia determine who would best benefit from the information or the research that I've conducted. I don't know what this means, if just she was unable to alert the council in time, if there was more seemingly pressing matters to them that this didn't seem as important.
What could be more pressing than this?
Or maybe something happened to her.
Because we're waiting, we're out of earshot of the guards, because we're at like 100 yards away waiting, right?
Yeah,
Well,
you're out of...
Don't forget as well that when I was able to get the rest of the group the audience with the council, after I talked with Ilenia after the fact, she said that they adamantly did not let her in to that meeting. Otherwise, she would have snuck in like she claims she has many times in the past. So they're trying to do things without her influence.
Maybe she's been removed from high ranks. Hence why she can't really do anything.
I mean, given the training that she gave me in the land of the Loren, it's...
What if she's seen as a traitor?
When was the last time you heard from her, Beatrice?
It had been a while. Honestly, you were the first people that had mentioned anything about her for several months. I've been just kind of looking around the area, and the forge was one of the last things I found, but I wouldn't go in on my own, and there were some other things I was looking into, so I just kind of been looking into some other things, and since you all came along, this is my first chance to really circle back to one of the bigger findings that I had gotten.
So we don't even know if Eilenia is in there or received your message.
She kind of stops and shudders at the thought of Eilenia. It's like, well, I guess that's possible, but then that means that things have taken a really bad turn if transpondences are now being filtered by someone inside of Elfrost.
Like Xylith puts up his hands and like, I'm just saying that I think we have a pretty pressing matter here, and the fact that they haven't responded or...
Both from Eilenia and from Nazare. The two different sides we're trying to
They're
appease.
not taking this serious.
Outside of game, though, Xylith, you still have those stuff we found underneath the smith area, right? The necromancer tools, crystal, whatever. I know we took a couple of items off a shelf.
So what
I
you're saying
think
is
you
you
did.
don't want to go through Elven TSA.
I'm just saying, if those guards are like, hey, let me see those items, I'll be like, I give them to Xylith, and Xylith can be like,
Border
oh
Patrol.
yeah, these
Border Patrol,
crystals, and make it look like it's those things that
CBC.
kind of give up and everything.
Did I take anything?
took-
I can't remember.
Yeah.
You took a shelf full of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took
I
several
did.
things from that necromancer
That
there.
gave off some energy.
This is dangerous.
Yeah, that gave off some
This is
energy.
cool.
Ooh, knickknacks.
Ooh, a piece of
I
candy.
mean, I'll look at Nymphis and I'll be like, I do, but
You could just say those are the items to the guards, and if they glow weirdly and everything, and they don't...
And then if we produce the actual ones afterwards, then we appear as liars, and that gets rid
Yeah,
of what
no.
credibility we're trying to build.
I'm just trying to smoke screen and save our skins from another disaster. That's all.
That's the thing, is we can't smoke screen. If we are to build a trust relationship with those in Elfrost, we need to show that we are trustworthy for them to trust us.
Delto, I would love to trust these guys, but they're not trusting us at all. They have to give way to get way, you know? Is that a saying? I should make that a saying. Hold on.
To be fair,
Right,
so
they are
right on the
guarding,
book.
to be fair, they are guarding the Elven capital. While I disapprove of their ignorance, they are just doing what they believe is best for the city.
And what they've been trained to
Yes,
do.
that's understandable. Maybe let's...
I'm more worried about what's
Judgment
happening on the
till
inside.
something.
If they were
Unless-
not expecting our arrival when I had sent numerous correspondence of the dangers that we carry and are bringing, then
There's a break in the communication somewhere.
or there's some other nefarious things going on inside.
It could be.
Yeah, and we don't know who's nefarious, so we supposed to trust these? See what I'm saying?
What could be more important?
Well, we could
than
leave and take them with us.
I'm just
Really?
concerned. I mean,
Well, my word hasn't meant anything at the moment, so it sounds like my reputation needs to be rebuilt, or Eileen.
would we still go to
We
Kenboulder to
already
try to find more
informed
information?
them. So they might come after us now that they know.
Let's wait for now, see if anything transpires. If they still turn us away after they make contact, then
we have no choice but to leave.
Indeed.
Yeah. And if they come try to hunt us down and everything, it'll be self-defense at that point, and then hopefully it would be self-defense because we came to them first and they didn't want to talk to us, and then now they're trying to force their hand.
Which is why we're waiting to see what happens when they can make contact.
It's true.
Because with them being aware of this, that's now multiple points that would have to be covered up if there's something nefarious going on.
We don't know who they told in there.
Exactly. We don't know how many know. We don't know where the communication break is happening, considering we have used our methods of contact towards 2 of the upper ranks. Ugh, I need to become more powerful so I can learn that spell. I believe it's called Sending. That would solve all of this.
Y'all are a lot further along than I am. It sounds like. In the meantime, Julien, Wilrick. So Wilrick, you still have that kind of sensation. You've started kind of getting numb to it over the past hour, but you haven't had the adverse effect like you had last time. But you're still kind of aware, like, okay, there's that weird little tingle that you have in your head, but thankfully you're not being debilitated and you're not hearing screams in your head.
Yeah, at the point I'm just more settled down now, not really on edge. I'm just getting used to it. And just really awkwardly standing near Julien.
Yeah, so Julien has used Divine Sense at this point already. And Julien has sensed nothing. So, Julien will completely relax and basically just turn to you and just go,
you know what, Wilrick, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For before.
For attacking me?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could put it like that. Yeah.
Julien.
Yeah.
Let's put the card on the table.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hold it against you. If you thought something was bad, act on that instinct. You're doing it for the sake of the party. I understand. But please, don't do it so rashly. But I would respond with force.
It's just, some things don't add up. I said something more than the weapons. I don't know what it was. I thought it was you. It's not you, clearly. But I feel like we know something that the others don't. Right?
I'm not too sure. I can't remember a lot. I'm just going off feeling. It's a weird feeling, but
yeah, it is.
I don't know what's going on. Everything's still a bit misty in my head.
Do you ever feel like there's something inside you, like pulling the strings sometimes?
I don't follow.
I spoke to someone.
To who? So someone in our group.
When I wouldn't say exiled. When I ran after attacking you, someone found me. They said some things to me. And when you came to me afterwards, I felt like I saw a little bit of them in you. It's not something against you, it's because I don't sense it anymore, but something's not right.
Thank you for telling me, at least. I don't know what I could do, what I could say to help you.
I know, I understand. I don't trust easily. And this is not me saying I trust you. But this is me saying that I'm open to trusting you with an asterisk.
Fair enough. We don't need to fully trust one another, but trusting each other enough to be in the same party, at least. What are we called again? You know what? It doesn't really matter. But as long as we can trust each other not to go at each other's throats, then we'll find out more as we go on.
Yeah.
So above game,
Ace.
Asmodeus did tell you that he visited Julien, and you're making the connection that he's talking about the visit.
Yeah. You didn't get the memo? It was a company-wide memo.
There he is.
I tried thinking you, Ace was like, Ace, you need to be here for this.
I just wanted to prompt or two, but it's all good. Yeah, I know above game. I was trying to see how I was going to play it.
No. All right.
Grandma Devil.
Anything? So.
No.
All right. So for the other group, 15 minutes goes by. Still no visit from the guards. 30 minutes go by. Still nothing. Y'all are still just kind of standing there. Beatrice is kind of getting impatient again.
Well,
Another
did
15
say
minutes
the
go by.
council was in session, so it's probably going to take at least an hour or so, depending on how and if their meeting had just started. Plus, they have to get through all the other slog that they have to deal with.
This just seems very ignorant. And I don't know if just I've been away for too long, so they're just not expecting me and not taking me at my word. I should have sent a follow-up, I guess, to Eilenia. I just tried to send a message when we were in Sleepy Cub to the messaging tower.
Why aren't they letting you in, Beatrice? If they verified your...
I haven't tried to go in. I was more staying with you with the weapons. So that... But I could go in and try to search for Eilenia and see if... what's going on. Would you all prefer to go in there and look, or to stay?
They wouldn't
My only concern,
do anything to you, would they?
considering you've been talking about there being potentially something amiss, I'm worried about if you go in there alone now, if there is some sort of sabotage happening.
They'll silence her.
It's hard to even speak the words that there would be sabotage in Elfrost, but I hope it's just more incompetence than anything else.
I agree. I hope so as well.
Right. But
were you typing that
I think
before
for now...
I typed it?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I think I would feel better if you stayed with us for now, Beatrice. I'm feeling a little bit sick. And then Silas will just flop on the floor like in a starfish.
You okay?
This is just thinking about it, thinking about what's going on in there and out here, and it's just a lot to take.
Well, I'll stay with you all. Hopefully it won't take much longer. She's going to go up and ask the guards about what's taking so long.
Can we see her?
Yeah, she's still within
Okay.
range.
We're keeping
She's
eyesight.
within sight. Okay.
Yeah, you're still within the 100
Alright.
yards.
I don't want her to get like sucked into the void and never come back out or something.
So you see kind of an exchange, again, a lot more brief this time, and she comes back and says, apparently they've sent for someone to validate that we can bring the weapons in. It sounds like they're at least acknowledging that there's a danger. Would have been nice to have that set up before we got here, and so we weren't wasting our time.
Yeah, they work on snail mail around here.
I mean, what else are we doing? Given your suggestion would have been for us to continue on to Ted Boulder to just find information anyways. If they even have any such information, but...
And for the record, I said let's go there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just worried about asking randomly around Ted Boulder, even in some certain circles, just the wrong people overhearing us if we try to investigate these further.
That's the thing. You never know who's the right person.
That's becoming an ever more fair point, Nymphus.
Mm-hmm. We keep coming into a lot of sus people. Suspicious activities among those that we think we can trust. And honestly, the ones that are suspicious in the get-go, like off the bat that we know we shouldn't trust, seem to be the ones that help us the furthest. The weird guild guys.
You were suspicious of me at first? He gives a smile. He's like, he is just playing into it. Just to try to help alleviate a little bit of tension.
I've known you all for less than a week. This is still very new to me.
You're our friend now, Beatrice.
You're still on my list.
Well done.
But I trust you for now.
The feeling is mutual. About another 10 minutes goes by, one of the guards comes up and is like, alright, we have a team here that will take the weapons. Would you all come in? So, signing for you all to come in. The other guards come, so they're going to looks like they're going to escort you into the city.
I will go if it is advised. Anybody wish to stay outside?
No, I'm gonna go with Beatrice.
We're all going in.
Yeah.
I don't want to go without you guys.
I changed
They're gonna
my
jump
mind.
me. You see my little thing?
Very well.
I'm going to get jumped the moment you guys leave sight out of me. I don't. It happens in every mystery book. Seriously.
And he'll just tap the pocket that he put the gold from Julien in. I just hope that we can have a chance to stop for rations on our way out.
Oh. And Nymphus will look to the guards. Can we get rations on the way out?
We'll be purchasing. But that's to be determined on our way out.
Aside from collecting the weapons, your business is your business.
Okay.
Thank you for your assistance today.
And they just keep walking in. So they take you through some parts of the city that you all were taken through before your first time, but goes off to a different part. So if you remember, the city's kind of built in almost different tiers.
A weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you. I wrote down a map of which routes we were going last time we were going through the crazy left and right. And I think by then he probably would have memorized the route. So if this is going off of that route, like or like off the trail, he'll make note. Nymphis will make note.
As you're going through the lower parts of the city are kind of a little bit more, again, the residential. As you get up the tiers, it's a little bit more higher up as far as shops and military and all that stuff. So you get up to kind of where it's a little bit more, you feel like the barracks, the maybe kind of armory defensive type stuff. And that's where you start to veer off some of the main thoroughfares throughout the city that connect the different tiers of it. You are escorted into this chamber, and it looks like there is several different magic casters there, some other different containers. Some look very ornate, some made out of wood, some made out of stone in design. You see elven scripting on these different things, and you see walls of other scripts and glyphs that are on parchment, that are engraved in stone. So this is almost like you're getting the sense that this is a pretty significant chamber to deal with these kinds of unknown, mysterious, dangerous types of artifacts. So kind of giving you the confidence of like, okay, they're at least now somewhat taking this seriously.
Okay.
What time of day is it? Just quickly, well, not buff game, but in game. What time of day is it?
In game, at this point, it's about midday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So there's several individuals inside, and one of them comes up to you and says, "I hear you have some dangerous artifacts that we are to analyze and dispose of. We got confirmation from the council to admit these. They send their apologies that they were not able to prepare us in time. It sounds like they may have had some other priorities. But would you please present the artifacts?"
Okay. And then Nymphis will go towards Belto and Xyla. And Beatrice and I are like, can you guys like make a little wall real quick for me so they can't really...
I think they're going to see regardless given this space.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to... Yeah.
Just watch. Watch for me. Please protect me. Thank you. Okay. And Nymphis will, as the wall is developed and everything, quickly go into his ring and grab the shield alone.
Need you to make a...
For them to...
well, this would be... Yeah. Arcana check plus your proficiency bonus.
Uh-oh.
Arcana plus proficiency bonus. Wait, proficiency bonus?
So whatever your intelligence is.
Intelligence?
So,
okay.
Int check plus...
Oh, you already
3.
have the bonus. Sorry, I was on...
Yeah,
Julien's.
yeah.
No, so just roll your Arcana. Sorry.
Arcana gives you a +2.
18
you're good.
plus
Okay.
5.
Yeah, +5. So
You sense a little bit more resistance as you go into your ring, almost like there's probably some
Protective field.
protective field that prevents plane shifting. But because you're tied to your ring, it's...
I brush it across a little bit.
But everyone in the room starts to freak out. And it's like, oh...
When he goes into the ring, like, Belto will just, like, catch the ring. He does this. It's like those barrel holding things.
You see several guards start to draw their spears. And as you say this, like...
This is the only way we could make sure they couldn't be stolen if we were accosted by bandits on the road.
The assistant's like, it's okay. This genocide are a little bit different in their magic. And the guards are tedious, but they're still holding their weapons drawn.
And, like, Belto's just got, like, one arm up, one arm holding the ring now.
Yeah, same.
Not like holding them out, but just
by
visible. Because it was gonna fall. But just like,
okay.
It's
all
fine.
right, and Nymphis comes out with just the shield until they're okay with everything. We're just gonna bring the shield out
one at a time to be
and
safe.
with the wrapping and just to make sure. We're gonna see if they can do what they need or see what they can first before bringing them all out. We don't want a chance of everything being pulled out or grabbed or snatched by the wrong person. So we pull out the shield by itself.
Okay.
And then also he comes out with like a piece of ration jerky in his mouth and just chewing on it as he's sorry, I was slightly hungry. And he puts it carefully on the table or whatever they have there.
It looks like some kind of either table or altar type of
We have it wrapped
ordained type
because
thing.
physical contact in general is what causes the effect to immediately take hold.
So don't touch it.
Please don't touch it.
I see. And so you're just bringing these out one by one?
I'm only bringing the shield out for right now until they identify the one, and then when they
Are you explaining
verify
to them that
yeah,
you're only
this
bringing
is
out one
bad,
by one, or have you not said anything?
I'm going to say I actually look at Belta them, and I will just give them one at a time type scenario, and then when they identify and see that it's just one the weapon is bad, I'll say yes, and there's more of them that are like that.
So you place the shield down.
I want them to see that we're not lying.
Here's the first example of proof,
Yes.
basically.
So you are
Yeah.
telling them that there's more than.
We're telling them that
Okay,
there's multiple.
Yes. We already said that
Yeah.
we have a few weapons.
I didn't know if you were
they
saying
know
that-
That the
we
shield
pull
was the
out one
first item.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for making sure that we're all on the same page, Dust. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to clarify. It's like
Yep.
if you are just going to bring out the shield, they're going to start asking questions.
No, we'll let them know for sure.
And so you said this is
One of the
proceed.
items.
Yes.
There
But
are-
what's the? Is it cursed? Is it?
Cursed, yes. Possessed by some kind of demon-like thing. And did we not explain the Duragard?
We did to the gods outside. But basically, when these weapons were found, it was in a forge deep in the earth. Duragar ambushed us, trying to kill us so that their existence could not be revealed. Oh no, notes. Trying to make sure I remember the correct details / say what is safe to say. Mostly just the correct details, though. We tried to send contact ahead, and since we did not get a response for multiple days, we attempted to perform identify on one of the other weapons. Upon contact with the weapon, the caster immediately started lashing out, and we had to restrain them and force the weapon out of their hands. It was as if it was magically sealed to their hand. At first, it was a struggle for our whole group just to get it away from any one person.
I got bit during that time.
Kind of looks at you and like, okay, they're gonna take. So at this point, it's just a shield out. Or are you still bringing out one at a time? You just bring it.
I will wait for them to verify the shield and what we're saying, and then I'll pull the rest out when they accept that we're
Gotcha.
not telling a
Okay.
lie.
So the person that welcomed you and asked you and greeted you takes a look at the weapon or the shield without touching it, but
I've
kind of
confirmed that
taking-
they're all magical through detect magic, but we haven't risked further contact.
I see. And when these artifacts have been touched, you say that you're possessed. It causes possession.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like it is a effect, as like there's a certain individual that these are maybe key to, or is it something where it almost seems like a different personalities taking over type of possession?
More like personality-wise, there's like, and we tried a lot of different things. We tried dispel. We tried.
You did attempt to remove curse, and that failed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that failed.
I think we tried everything in our arsenal that was available.
And it wasn't working. So it's more like, and you can hear another voice in your head during that time of touching, and it's trying to take over. You have to have a very strong will.
And who all touched these weapons? Was there a certain individual? And Beatrice kind of looks shy and is like, I touched it, and I can confirm what they're saying. It almost feels like there's a entity trying to take over. It felt like someone was trying to take over my mind when I touched the weapon. If it weren't...
But Beatrice is so strong; she will overcome.
She's a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, she's so strong, independent.
The researcher kind of goes over and looks through some notes, takes several different books out and is starting to look through it. And he says, I don't recognize possession I guess there have been some rare occasions of binding a soul or some kind of spirit to an object. Maybe it's something of this kind.
Oh, if you guys need notes, I took in some from the area we picked these guys up anyway. So you might want to look through this. And here's a copy, and you can borrow that. I already have like 3, and I'll hand the notes over to a copy of the notes that we have discovered from the cave that shows the rituals that they were trying to do or whatever.
Okay, we'll have to study these. Which?
Okay.
There are more of these items that you have?
Oh, yes. Did you check to prove our point? Do we have a stamp of approval?
And considering this was the shield, that's probably the least likely one to cause immediate damage, unlike the physical weapons.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of is looking around at the guards like, I'm not sure what approval you all are seeking. I was told that you all are just bringing weapons that were...
We need your higher up to stamp on that we are telling the truth. A scroll, a file of some sort saying, yes, we turned these into you. Logistical. I did logistics, guys.
Just proving that we're
level of
crazy.
We turned these into, we proving that we're passing these on.
So much level of shade.
And what other damage that comes after we've done so is not.
We're trying to be responsible and make sure that nothing bad happens.
I mean, I assure you, we'll be cataloging these items as we.
Yes, absolutely.
Research these.
And we would like a receipt.
Yeah, we would like a receipt.
The receipt's kind of already been done through the other channels, considering they are seeing us. This is just like, oh yeah, no, they were, like, they delivered this stuff to us.
Yeah, don't they have like a freaking sergeant or somebody in charge or whatever? That we get that the council is busy, but who's leading the guards?
Were you all sent by someone that requires acknowledgement of these items being delivered? Like, that would usually be some kind of courier with a note that is already pre-filled out, and I was told that...
No, we're trying to get those approved now, though.
Okay, well, we'll take the weapons and then notarize whatever...
I'm sorry, Bobby, was there something you wanted to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries, I'm just like, I'm starting to get a little lost between what's causing the runaround at this point of the two sides.
The guards take a look. It's like, who sent you to deliver these weapons?
We attempted to contact both Nazare and Ilenia. We did not get responses from either. Fearing what these weapons could do in the wrong hands, considering the Duragar and other...
Stop wasting my time. Who sent you to deliver these weapons? If you're saying you're needing some kind of receipt of delivery, then someone sent you to deliver these weapons. Who is it?
No one sent us to deliver the weapons we're doing out the.
And why are you asking for
heart.
some kind of receipt of these weapons?
So we can share that these weapons were passed on.
And why do you need proof if it is just you that know of the existence of such weapons?
Trying to earn the good graces of the council. We're trying to.
Yes, we're trying to look good for the council.
So the council is expecting these weapons.
For you guys.
They should be. But we did not receive any responses to our missives to them in the past most of a week.
They're not in the business of giving receipts.
Very well.
However, if you require some piece of parchment that says that we received such weapons from you, we can write one up, I suppose.
It would be appreciated if that is an option.
He goes over and Elvish says, receipt of 1 shield, and just hands it over.
All right, please procure the next one, Nymphis.
Nymphis is like, I don't know, they run around in disrespect that he just gave the guys given. Nymphis is like, turns his back on the guard a little bit, and he's just trying to do a deep breath before he goes back into the thing. But if you look at Nymphis at the moment, if he opens his eyes and looks at you guys, one of his eyes go completely dark black. And he's just like, phew, and everything. And he himself doesn't know what's happening, but if you guys look at him, you will see that cleared a little bit. And then he'll go in the ring to grab the rest.
You still grabbing them one at a time, or are you grabbing the whole? Okay.
One at a time, yeah. Actually, I will grab 2 this time and pull them out that way. How many total did we
4
have again?
plus the shield.
It should be 4. So we'll have 3, and then I'll pull out the last one. Yes.
Okay. So you pull 3 out, you put them on the table, you unwrap them, they're exposed, and you go right back in, or do you wait in between?
If I pull all 3 of them out, that's all 4 of them, right?
Well, you brought the shield out first, and then there's 4 weapons.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring 2 more, and then I'll go grab one last one. Afterwards.
You said there's 4 weapons plus the shield. You're saying you're going in for 2, and then one last one. That's 3 out of 4.
Oh, I will grab the last 2 then. Sorry, I miscounted.
Okay, so you're bringing basically 2 at a time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After you bring out the last 2, y'all just standing there, and
This is all of them.
very well. The guards look at the researcher, and the researcher's like, well, we will study these and dispose of them if we deem them such a hazard that we cannot contain. I will report this back up to the council as time permits. Is there anything that we can help you all with?
How about a refund?
The guards are like, it's probably best that they get about on their business. And the reader's like, okay.
We don't know about
We
to
need to
overstay
pick up
our
some
welcome.
rations. Yeah.
Okay.
We need to pick
That's
up
on
some
our way out.
rations
That's
on the way
not
out.
for them to help us with.
Yeah, on our way out.
Theatra's like, well, if we're done here, I'm going to go see Eilenia and try to figure out this mess. This is...
Bye, Felicia.
Please do.
Shall we wait for you outside the gates?
The might as well be fine. I will let you know if I am coming or if I learn of anything.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank you.
you I learn you of anything?
Wow.
If you do choose to stay or matters require you to stay, it has been not so bad hanging out with you, and thank you for your assistance.
Thank you for all your help.
Well, thank you for your help in these weapons.
And
this has been very frustrating, and I am thankful that you all kept your heads while I nearly lost mine with trying to deal with such incompetence.
We're good at keeping our heads, all of us.
And as we are about to head out and everything, I will hand her 2 parchments. One parchment for her to send back to us if she's going to stay, and one parchment for if she is not, and it'll have a little marking on the bottom, and I'll let her know this one. Send this one if you're like you're staying but need help type scenario, and in this one if you're not staying and you're good and you're coming back, so we know.
Well, if I'm not staying, I might as well just come back, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, but you said you're going to send us a message. I'm trying to help you out. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Telepathically, yes, in front of all these guards, say this stuff openly.
No. I'm whispering it to her. I'm definitely trying to do this.
Yeah, you're good.
To her.
Okay. The guards escort you to a kind of open market square closer to the gates of the city, where it seems like a lot of trade goes on. You all find a good place to maybe not get like top-notch Elfrost food, not the top elven food.
We're just going for what's going to keep.
Yeah. So you find maybe like how many rations worth? You're going to use all 30 gold to?
Yep.
Okay.
That was what was provided.
Then I also have gold.
Okay.
Unless Nymphis wants to add to that, Belto said he plans to spend the 30 on rations so that we will be set for a while.
Okay.
And Julien
How
even
many are
more.
we buying?
You look at a couple different carts going through, finding different types of food that will keep for a journey, and you get 20 rations worth for the 30 gold.
20 rations for 30 gold. Okay. That's
The food here is a little bit more top
Yep.
notch, so it's a little bit higher pricing, but
adding it to the inventory.
Can we
and since you're in this market area, there's some other shops if you're looking for anything in particular.
How do we bargain in here?
I say we don't because we're on thin ice.
What other shops are there?
I mean, like merchant to merchant. How would I reduce some of the price on some of these
We're
things?
foreigners in a city that's very stereotypical.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We
merchant to
don't.
merchant,
And we not here.
I mean, for you might be able to find a merchant that sells books or exotic goods and be able to maybe barter and trade or share information, but
Exotic butters.
where you're at currently, it's more kind of general shops. So there are a couple bookshops there. With it being Elfrost, the exotic stuff is probably not going to be in the place that you're at. It's probably a little bit more specialty in other districts of the city.
Your reputation is too low to access this district.
Oh, I gotta boast up my street cred.
That's what we're doing.
Yep. All right. Other than the rations, anything else?
That's all we said we were going to do. To the guards.
And then we bounce out.
Are you all going to leave and then go back to Wilrick and Julien, or are you going to stay to see if there's a message from Eilenia before night comes?
If you two want, I can stick here outside the gate, wait for Eilenia. If you two want to go check in on the others, make sure Julien isn't after Wilrick again. I just realized that.
Yeah, let's go. We'll do that.
I'll hold back
I
here.
don't want to leave you alone, Belto.
I have the best vision in the dark.
We're just down the
out of
road.
all of us. I have all my spells for the day except for creating the water at the start. I should be fine. If you
You
want to
wanna head
stay, I'm fine with that as well. If just Nymphis wants to go back, it's only, an hour away?
Yeah.
No,
it'll be fine.
30 minutes.
30 minutes? Oh, yeah.
You all stopped
It's
about
only
30 minutes outside of the city.
It's only a 30-minute walk from LTS, so if you want to head back to Memphis, feel free.
I'm gonna stay with you, Belton.
Very well. And he'll just sit off to the side of the road and patiently wait to see if we get anything back from Beatrice. And he's going to be at a respectful distance from the gate so the guards don't have to worry, but we're in clear eyesight.
And Nymphis,
So
Nymphis,
Silas
are
is
you
staying
going
with Belto. Okay.
Nymphis makes his
Okay.
way back.
All right.
But
Nymphis,
it
give me-
takes him, yeah. Nymphis is not going straight all the way back there.
Oh.
You motherfucker.
As soon as you guys leave eyes off of Nymphis, you know he's going astray.
We were doing so well.
He's doing so well with adult vision, but you guys take your eyes off of me for a bit. And,
Adult supervision.
yeah. And Dust, I'll let you
All right, we gotta
have
get the
whatever
child
you
harness.
want with him. Go ahead, have fun. Nymphis doesn't go all the way back on his right away. That's all I'm letting you know.
Okay. Give me a flat d20 roll.
Oh, that's a 6 again. Nothing plus any. Okay, yeah, 6.
Good to know. On your way back, nothing really happens, but you are just kind of in thought of, with everything that's going on and with the weapons that you have now gotten rid of. Maybe it's worth checking out if the effect of the ring is still there, if you have any of the same kind of magical senses
Corruption.
corruption. So you find a place to kind of like tuck your ring away so it's not picked up by anybody off the side path. You hop into the ring. You look at where you had stored the weapons. Everything kind of looks fine. Roll a investigation check for me, please.
Okay, investigation. Investigation. Seriously, guys, this is the third 6 that I rolled now. So
666.
That's 666.
Man, it's too bad you're off
Something's
doing
going
this on your own when you could have had help with like guidance or something.
I know, but luckily I'm on my own because somebody had to stay. 6 plus the 2, so
8.
8.
There is the corruption that's still there from before when the weapons were resting against the architecture of like the room in your ring. Around the crate that you had the weapons in on the floor, it looks like parts of the crate are almost burned in certain areas. Like you can probably tell where the weapons were actually touching the crate inside. It's like it was. So instead of having kind of the metal architecture that's in your ring, the wood was actually burnt in some places. But it doesn't look like on inspection that anything seems out of the ordinary. So if you wanted to, you could probably just discard the crate, given the fact that it was touched by the corrupted
Can I
weapons.
lift the crate up and look around it and see
Uh-huh.
where is that?
Yeah, you take a loose look around it.
Is there anything like corrupted underneath the crate, like where it's touching?
Underneath the crate, no. It seems like everything, as far as you can tell, was inside the crate.
I shift this crate outside my ring as I come back out.
Yep.
I'm just gonna leave this right here.
Very good. Anything else you want to do, or are you just going to kind of chill until you see Xylith make their way back?
So
You
the
make your way
first time we made our way here, you said there was like this weird magical shimmer and stuff like that within the air of being close to Elfrost,
Mhm.
right? Is that still happening?
Yes.
Nymphis will take a second to like scroll not scroll, but like draw and sketch the shimmering in the air and try to log it a little bit and see if it's affecting any of the nature around this area.
You get this.
And then,
yeah.
and also I will sketch where I left the crate by the tree in case.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Something that you notice as you're looking. Actually, give me a perception check, please.
I gotta roll a different dice because 666 is not happening
on this
one.
forest path you've run into.
It's like Asmodeus has touched my dice for some weird reason. Alright, that is actually a 19 plus investigation or perception. You said?
Perception.
Okay, so 19 plus 2. It's 21.
All right. You notice that away from the city, it's autumn, fall time. It's late in the season where leaves are starting to turn brown. The trees are starting to become less full. But as you get to Elfrost, the trees are more full, and it seems like it's almost a ever-present spring and summer effect as you look at the vegetation closer towards the city. So it's almost like there's this aura, whether it's a magical effect or whether it's an effect of part of the window to the Fey realm that you saw when you were inside of Elfrost. But you notice every once in a while, it's just kind of like floating particles, and they land on different aspects of the landscape, the forest floor, and the trees. And you get the sense that this is almost like kind of what's quote unquote feeding the vegetation around the area. The weather also seems to be a little different inside of Elfrost, almost like it's on its own kind of timetable. So while it's been really dense fog and kind of partly cloudy in the world that you were coming up to Elfrost, and inside Elfrost, it's almost like, okay, there's kind of a transition of whatever they wanted the weather to be in Elfrost for that day.
Well, all right. He's just taking notes slowly as he makes his way back then on this of the changes and
And with that perception too, you see some of that effect starting to hit the box, and the parts of the box where it hits, where it's burned, you see those little kind of specks of dust almost immediately turn to ash and then dissipate.
Ooh, writes that down too, and he kind of scratches his head like I'm doing now as he looks at that. I hope that doesn't come back to bite us in the butt. And he makes sure to put it like outside of view, so if people are walking on the road a little bit, they don't see it or anything like that. So I like puts it out of sight for a little bit. So, and he's just like, okay, and then
Okay.
back.
Well, I think we'll end this session on a little bit of a calmer note. Won't leave a left cliffhanger or anything. And I know we're in the middle of a place, but I've got a couple of things that either take like 30 minutes to resolve in game, or I'll just DM people to get ready for the session in 2 weeks. So
sounds fun.
Okay.
So we're back for this year. We're finally into the 50s episodes.
Wait, is this the first session of the year?
It is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
We're back in a couple of weeks for our next session. Yeah, so welcome back. It's good to finally be back behind the DM screen and start getting our journey back on the way and
Nice.
make our way, I guess, to Keg Boulder in the next session. So
2025, guys. We're corrupting the Elfrost locations.
What's this wee shit?
Huh?
So many
What?
lies.
We don't know
He
about
said,
the
"What's
bots.
we?" Who's this we?
We. Someone's having fun.
We. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you're watching, thanks for those that are watching on Twitch. We'll see you all in a couple weeks. Bye bye.